Hey everyone, welcome to Destination Truth. Thanks for coming. This is one of my first movie reviews, but I have to say there will be some spoilers, so if you want to watch the movie without any spoilers, I recommend you do that now. Otherwise, I think you might still want to watch the movie, even after seeing this video that will have some spoilers, because, well, let's just admit it, a lot of people are curious about the occult. Yep, that being said, let's get into it, guys.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Destination Truth. Today, my part one of this video is going to be in the car because it's my birthday and I don't have a lot of time. I'm running around doing all kinds of things today. But last night I finished a movie called Hereditary, and that's what this video is about. And sorry for the bad lighting, the sunlight is making everything really dark. But Hereditary, well, let's just say I got into it thinking that this would be kind of an interesting suspense thriller, and it was to some extent for sure a suspense and a thriller, but they lead you on for the first hour of the movie, not really knowing what it's really all about until literally like the last 10 minutes of the movie. In the last 10 minutes of the movie, I realized that this is like a literal fan fiction about Satan worship, and it is literally about a cult of people that are trying to bring the kings of hell to earth and give them bodies. And so it is very satanic and really quite disturbing, actually, when you watch the entire movie. In fact, the first 45 minutes, although I didn't really know what it was about, I will say it was very depressing. There was a lot of death and just the main woman, done by Toni Collette, she did a great job acting, by the way. She did a really good job, I think, because she had to act like a, you know, half of a movie in a very hysterical, you know, mindset. She looked truly hysterical, like she might be on the verge of mental collapse, and by the end of the movie she did lose her mind, basically. Anyways, so it's a movie that, if you don't think we're in a war with Satanists, you know, Christianity and Satanists fighting over the earth, watch this movie, because it's right at the very end that I realized what I just watched, because the film was actually written and directed by Ari Aster. Now, if you don't know anything about the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati, that might not mean anything to you, but it means a lot to me. So I spent some time looking up this Ari Aster online, and as I would have expected, I didn't actually find a lot. And what I've learned over the last few years digging into the occult is that the Illuminati, the families of the Illuminati, are very secretive and very selective with the breeding of their families. And so, although from their Wikipedia and IMDb page, there is absolutely no evidence suggesting that he's tied to some giant, super wealthy family like the Astor family, but he also doesn't really have a background. Wikipedia says his father is a musician, and I don't even know if it mentions his mother's profession. So, yeah, very vague stuff, because it doesn't list the names of his parents at all. So, unfortunately, kind of a dead end. But what I've learned from years of looking into the occult now is that these families do keep certain information very tight to the vest. Let's just say that. It's very secretive information. Who is bred who, and the spellings of names is also a tactic to throw people off. So they'll spell the same name a little bit different, same pronunciation, but it'll be spelled differently to throw people off. So just the fact that this director got this gig and had very little known about him. Basically, he's a college graduate from an LA private school, and this is one of his first big films. Everything else was like a short. I mean, I'm very suspicious that he's a part of the Astor family. So let's dig into this deeper in part 2.
So I'm going to be commenting through this content a little bit. I'm maybe spoiling a little bit, but not much by speaking over what's going on here. But you'll notice I have cut this to pieces a little bit. The cuts here are not the actual film. I'm doing so to basically save some of the nuance and the mystery of the film so that it's still worth seeing, because let's just say this film leaves the crescendo, the actual peak of the film, until the very end. There is nothing after the next couple of minutes of footage. This is it. And just listen to this amazing orchestra and choir. What does it say to you? This is worship. This is majesty. This is glorification, if I've ever seen it and heard it. Obviously, that looks a lot like Jesus Christ. However, that is the severed head of someone in the story. And you'll notice the hand gestures of that mannequin were that of Baphomet, or Satan.
You're all right now. You are Paimon, one of the 8 kings of hell. We have looked to the northwest and called you in. We've corrected your first female body and give you now this healthy male host. We reject the Trinity and pray devoutly to you, great Paimon. Give us your knowledge of all secret things. Bring us honor, wealth, and good familiars. Bind all men to our will, as we have bound ourselves for now and ever to yours. Hail, Paimon! Hail, Paimon!
Wow. What to say about that? I mean, at the very end. That is the very end of the film. There's no other storyline. There's no hero archetypal plot story that you'd expect. The end is defeat, and the good guys are the bad guys, and the evil is the good, and etc., etc. If you study communism or Satanism, it'll sound very familiar, because that is what they do. They twist everything. All things that are good are bad, and all things that are bad are good. And man, this film literally put me in a very weird headspace, just because I'm a very happy person normally. Just kind of naturally, I appreciate a lot of things in life, and I have a lot of gratitude in life because, let's just say, I have some humble beginnings. Nonetheless, this film affected me in kind of a weird way, and just by the end of it, it's like, holy crap, I just spent like close to 2 hours watching a fan fiction of people bringing Satan's empire and his kingdom to Earth, or one of his kings to Earth. And if you notice, maybe re-listen to what she said about Paimon, who he is, and why they worship him, because they have promised, to worship him and tie themselves to him in exchange for things here on Earth: money, fame, power. She even said, bend other people's will to us the way that we have bent our will to you. So it's like their heaven is going to be their short lifetimes here on Earth. So if you guys are new to my channel, I am a Christian, and you know, I just want to say that this is not a film that you should show any children under the age of 18. And teenagers are children, trust me. You never agree to it until you reach about age 25 and you're like, holy crap, I was an idiot. And, you know, once you're 25, you're like, I think I'm finally ready to vote. So, you know, voting rights should probably be at age 25 as well. Nonetheless, guys, what else can I say about this film other than it is a fan fiction for Satanists, and it is kind of dangerous. It was an interesting film. It was well made. I didn't necessarily not enjoy it. I actually kind of enjoyed watching it. It's just right after that scene, it says written and directed by Ari Aster. And it's just such an in-your-face, like, that's right. We rule the fucking world, and we have enough, you know, there's enough people in the periphery of these ruling class families of the 11 or the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati that they can afford to just have these people work in every industry and go from relatively nothing to just boom, you know, top of the world. So Ari, once again, like a recent graduate from film school, just produced a film that's like very watched right now on Netflix. So, you know, this is just my angle, guys. I'm not some psychic or anything, but it's good to know. Sorry about that. It's good to know thy enemy. And earlier I said, you know, I'm not saying that this shouldn't be allowed. You should be able to make these kinds of films, but it's most important to identify your enemy. It is literally more than half the battle in my book, because once you know the enemy, you're able to fight it when you need to. And as soon as these people start kidnapping your kids and you can prove it because we've got all the evidence we should need at this point, then hey, let's do that too. So I'm not going to get into the whole Pizzagate thing again, but Pizzagate is real. Just going to keep putting that out there. In fact, I'm actually helping my brother help someone else from the Midwest fight for their child's life, basically, because the child is in danger of being given custody to their pedophilic father, who's been abusing them sexually for years. Anyway, that's a whole ball of wax that I'm not supposed to get into. But I might be publishing a video interviewing the mother of this child, because I personally believe sharing the truth, spreading the truth is the only way to set yourself free from all the evil and carnage that Satan brings to this world. So I hope you guys liked my review. I'm basically saying feel free to watch it if you're an adult, but it is dangerous, and it is, if anything, watch it with a grain of salt, and just know what you're watching. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching.